Project X today, and today I have another chapter of the wild and wacky video car I have. Yes, I did mention it in my previous video. The car is called an Ever Bever. Okay, so these cars were actually constructed in Canada. This particular one is one of 49, I believe. And yeah, it's a basically Ever Bever is a Lotus based car, a Lotus 7 based car. However, they are not known as kit cars, but actual production cars. However, they did offer kits. Yeah, so they did offer kits for these cars, and Eva Sports Cars actually did make other variants. They also made AC Cobra replicas and other sports cars similar to the Eva Bever. And most of the cars constructed with glass fiber and tube frames, like racing cars, you know. So this car is very light, very fragile, no safety aids. And as I mentioned in the previous video, that the previous owner was actually in the process of extending the car, or actually did extend the car, and did not complete it. So I just have to figure out what's going on with the car. So in this video, I'll briefly go over what I did find off the bat the car needs. First, to get it running. Yeah, things like brakes were done, steering. The wiring was not complete though. Wiring was not complete, so that needs to be done. And yeah, the interior needs to be done. I'm not sure at this point whether I'm just going to make it a very spacious two-seater or like a 2+2. With two little seats at the back. Might get the proportions off a bit. Well, it actually would be easier for me to make it a 2+2.
Okay.
Because I don't actually want to make it just a two-seater or put it back to how it original was. But I just have to take a look and see how the frames are actually welded. The stretching was decent. A decent welding. Looks solid. But you don't want the car breaking in half when you're racing or anything like that. I just need to double check that. I haven't fired up the engine yet, so I'm not sure. However, he did give me receipts. The engine and transmission were rebuilt, and also the carb was rebuilt. That should save me a little bit of money there and save me a bit of a headache with that. That on its own is not a problem. So the drivetrain I have no problem with. What I do need is to get the interior going and cosmetics, things like paint, glass. I have to get some glass, some paint, mirrors. There were some other parts that came with it, but I don't think we'll probably be able to use them anyway. It looks like everything was actually done. The car was running before they extended it, it looked. Yeah, I guess they just went through the trouble of, maybe couldn't fit in it, because these cars are really cramped. Very cramped indeed. So, yeah, which the finish with, fiberglass and a car like this could end up costing a little bit of money because it's only a few people that know how to, paint these kind of cars. And I did see that, there's a lot of cracks all over the place with the fiberglass. So, a lot of body work that needs to be done. Wiring, getting the wiring done, getting the gauges done, fuel gauge, and also basically knitting up. Because what I also noticed was there's a lot of wires all over the place. Wires over the exhaust and so forth. That is interesting, or wires sticking out. So that also needs to be done. I really don't want to spend too much money on this thing. They're valuable, but not valuable, if you know what I mean. I've seen a decent one other decent one going for $30,000. So I don't want to spend 30,000 to perfect a car for 30,000. It's not worth the headache. So a very minor budget to get this thing done, get it running, get it back on the road, and see what to do with it at that time, or if other interesting projects do come up at any time, see what happens with this one. So because I have other projects that do require resources that add way more value than this car. However, it is a fun project. It is a fun car. As I said, rare, but not crazily valuable. It's not as valuable as say a Cuda or a Viper or something like that. It's a fun car. You know, as I said, capped 30k. Values capping at 30k at the moment. No need of going overboard, and that's why it's kind of been in the back burner because I have other projects that I've been working on, and I know most of the parts for this one. I mean, you do see the bodywork needs to be complete. The glass fiber, well, where they extended it, that needs to be complete. It needs to be put together. It needs to be put together in an attractive way because of the extension. You know, the proportions are a little off, makes it a little weird. So, have to figure out design-wise how to balance the whole car. You know, so and also wheels. I already have some Lotus wheels for it. We'll try fit those on. And I did actually try them on, and it just transformed the whole car. That's probably what I'm going to use in terms of wheels. Gauges, it has Toyota gauges, so I have to look into whether I have to get a digital racing gauge, or how else I'm going to proceed with the gauges to make it look modern. Not even modern, just make it look decent. I know it's cheap, but you don't want to make it look really a little cheesy. Because the problem with these cars is they open and interior has to be spot on as exterior, you know. Otherwise, it just looks real flaky. So that's what I've got to do with that as well. I'm hoping that this summer we'll probably have a substantial amount of work done. A lot of work was already done on it. Want to spend my time on other projects that
Let's
do
go.
require a lot of resources, do require a lot of time, and yeah, and we'll probably get back to this as in the as a back in the back, as a back burner. So yeah, so that's what's going on with this endeavor. It requires a lot of work, right? Would be very interesting. Parts are not so difficult to find because most of the running gear or drivetrain is actually from a Toyota Corolla, so that shouldn't be difficult. And usually mostly Toyota parts, so that shouldn't be difficult and expensive to do. What is difficult is that bodywork. Bodywork, I think, would need an expert, but we'll see how that goes. You know. So yeah, so I can't promise that I'll be able to finish it this year because it does need a substantial amount of work. Um, we'll have to play by ear to see if I'll be able to complete it this year. Otherwise, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll see what's going on with the channel, see what's going on with the projects, and we'll basically see how far it goes this year. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Project X. Yeah, so tell me what you think. If you have any ideas, any feedback, let me know. Comment down below so I can see what direction to go in. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.